Hello and welcome to Detention. I am Austin Harrison and today we are looking at the solo mode for Mythic Mischief. I am expecting you to know how to play the base game already, so if you have not watched our how to play video, please go and do that first. But yeah, you were in detention and you heard a ruckus in the hallway. You ran out to see what it was and you ended up in the library where you saw students with black eyes stealing tomes from the library. The tome keeper was trying to stop them and you were supposed to be in detention, so you don't want to be caught by them either, but you are trying to help them stop these students. Now, it is a race to 10 points like it is in the base game, or at least you want to have the most points when the tome keeper has finished the after lunch phase on our cards. However, the way that the enemy team, the Enchanted Mythics, are scoring points is very different in the base game than the base game. So, we're using the Ghost faction today to represent our Enchanted Mythics. They can be any of the other factions in the game. All you're going to use from those factions is their miniatures and their tomes. Otherwise, setup is completely normal. You need to have your faction board set up as just as you would if you were playing the game normally. I've chosen to play the zombies today. So it's going to be zombies trying to stop the enchanted ghosts from stealing tomes. To set up, you're going to set up the board exactly as you would for the normal game, except you do not put the enchanted tome color out in the library, according to the before lunch card. You do, however, put your own tomes out, which is these yellow tomes out here. And then you place the enchanted on the third and second destinations, and then the third enchanted miniature is going to go as far away from the first destination as possible. So it needs to be an unoccupied space, so if there was a tome here of my color, they would go into one of the other corners. All right, now that we've got the board set up, I'm going to go first. You're always going to go first in the solo mode, and the turn order is going to be me, then a Tome Keeper phase, then the enemy mythics, the Enchanted Mythics, and then a Tome Keeper phase, and then we're going to resolve something that is new that you will not see outside of the solo mode, and that is the detention card here. So we're going to have a row of detention cards, and these are the possibilities that could happen in that phase. And if you look at them, there are some new iconography that I want to cover really quickly. There are yellow spaces. Those spaces are going to be tripped up spaces. And if I am in one of those yellow spaces, if that card resolves, I am going to be unable to move that mythic on my next turn. Now, they can still perform other actions, they just cannot move. It activates very similarly to the Frankenstein's monsters track token. There are also these black and white spaces with the Tome Keeper eye on them. That is going to be a catch. I'm going to be caught by the Tome Keeper if I'm in one of those spaces. And then the Enchanted Mythics would get a point. And then also you're going to see some arrows pushing in a certain direction. That is going to move our Mythics off of that spot into the next spot over, just following the arrow. It does not move the Enchanted Mythics, just our Mythics. And finally, there are going to be tome icons on these cards. That is going to be where we put the enchanted tomes on the board. Now, paying attention to all of those possibilities is going to be really important for not only getting caught yourself, but playing defense, because we're obviously trying to stop the enchanted from getting these tomes. If they get these tomes, they get a point. So that is going to be the main way they score. The second way they can score is if on the Tome Keeper phase right after their turn, we are caught by the Tome Keeper. They can move us toward the Tome Keeper, so they might end up putting us in the path. And then the final way would be on the Enchanted phase, the detention phase. If we were in one of the zones with the eyeballs in it, we would then get caught and they would get a point. All right, if they get caught, so let's say a Tome Keeper phase happens right after our turn and they get caught, we will get a point like we normally would, and then we would roll this dice. This is going to be one of the only times in the game where you're actually rolling a dice and using that number. But we rolled a 4 in this example, and if you look on this card, it has different dice face numbers and values there. You're always going to start with the green icon, and if that space is filled, you're going to go on to the blue tile there. So in this case, I rolled a 4, so the enemy Enchanted Mythic would spawn in the green 4. If that space, which is right here, was occupied by another Mythic, I would then go to the blue 4, which is the one down here. In this case, that spot is open, so I could spawn them there. That's going to be anytime they are caught after the Tome Keeper's phase, they will spawn there. I think that's everything. I will go over a couple of different ways that the enchanted turn works, but for now, I'm just going to start playing. So I'm going to place my mythics out on the board to begin. I do have a way I could catch one if I wanted to, and I'm questioning whether I should start early and go for the points. And I think that I am not, because it would extend the way I would do it would extend the before lunch phase. And I don't necessarily want to do that, because as soon as I get to after lunch, I get more tomes on the board. Now, the Enchanted Mythics don't get tomes when you switch from before to after lunch. In fact, the tomes that are on the board of theirs will go away, just like our tomes left over will go away. So it's actually a really good thing to hit that transition pretty early in the solo mode. So I'm not going to delay it. I'm just going to go for tomes on my first turn here. And this is a dangerous tome. So I think, can I get it and run? I cannot. I'm going to play relatively safe with this last one. Put him right here. No, right there. All right, so you would begin just like it was your turn in any case. So I'm going to just go ahead and grab some tomes here. Going to use a movement to go there. Going to use another movement to go here. And I'm looking down here at the detention cards to see where it's possible that the Enchanted Mythics might spawn tomes. And right now, 4 of them are spawning on the top of the board, which I don't really like. So I'm going to try to move them away from the top of the board by going here and then infecting this Enchanted Mythic to there. All right, I'm going to save my wall move, not going to use that. I'm going to save my legendary ability, and we're just going to enter the Tome Keeper phase, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's up there to the 1. And then I'm going to slot some extra movement for myself with a tome. And then I really want Distract. Distract is going to be really important this game. So I'm going to give myself some Distract. All right, so that is my turn. Very anticlimactic first turn, as they often are, just going for tomes to be able to upgrade my moves. Now, the Enchanted don't have any tomes out here. Their number 1 priority is going to be going for tomes on their turn. If they can't go for tomes, then they're going to try to move me towards the Tome Keeper. And if they can't do that, then they're going to run away from the Tome Keeper. Now, each Enchanted has 3 movement, which is at the top of the detention card here. If you want an easier game, you can move that down to 2. If you want a really, really hard game, you can bump that up to 4. There are actually several different ways that you can make the game easier or harder for the solo mode, which I love. Because between the different factions, there's a lot of different ways you can play the solo mode. But then in addition to that, if it's feeling too easy or too hard for you, you can bump down or up the difficulty. Okay, so you always resolve the enchanted turns from the bottom left hand of the board to the top right. So if you look at this card here, it might be a little small, but we're going to use the first mythic that is down to the bottom left side of the board. So their goal is to go and get their tomes. There are none of their tomes on the board, so their secondary goal is going to be moving one of our mythics toward the Tome Keeper. So this one's going to move 1, 2, 3, and move this mythic here. And then this mythic is our next in that lineup. He's going to move 1, 2, 3. Now he can't move this mythic closer to the Tome Keeper because this one is here. But by doing that, as long as he can move this mythic further away from the Tome Keeper, he's actually going to move them both. And he's able to do that. This mythic is going to move, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, he's going to move him there. All right. That is the end of the Enchanted's turn. Now, next turn, they're going to have tomes out on the board, and that's going to be their number 1 priority. All right. So the Tome Keeper's then going to move 1, 2, and he's going down here. 3, and then is not going to be able to take another step because of the clutter that is under this mythic here. All right, now we get to reveal which of these cards is going to happen. Now, I'm pretty safe from getting caught except for right here. If the first card, the far right card, resolves, then this mythic will get caught and they will get a point. Otherwise, I'm feeling pretty confident about my chances here. It doesn't seem too bad. Oh, no. Of course, that is the card that gets resolved. So if you look at the top middle of the detention card, you can see it has one of the cards highlighted in the row. So this is, of course, the card that got chosen, and this card will take its place. Normally, all the cards slide down to the left, but the far right card was taken. There is a different percentage chance of each of these cards getting chosen. It's normally the far left is the most likely, followed by the middle, followed by the far right being the most unlikely. So this was a pretty unlikely situation for me. So this character, zombie character, is going to get caught. I believe that is Tumble. And the ghosts will get, the enchanted ghosts will get a point. And then we're going to put out tomes for their team. Unlucky for me again, they're actually spawned on a ghost right now, which is definitely something I'm going to try to stop from happening because they will pick that up at the start of their turn. And then this, if I had a character down in this lower right-hand corner, they would have been tripped up, but luckily that is, I don't have anyone down there. So now that we've done that, I don't have any ghost mythics to respawn, so I am going to the top of my turn again, and I would do that just as I normally would by spawning my character back into the library, sneaking back into the library. So I can do that based on any of the secret entrances back in. And how do I want to do this? I have a distract. This is going to be a hard one. I've got a plan, I think. So the Tome Keeper's going 1, 2, 3, 4 right now, so that's going to be a catch. I could catch another one, but I am really worried about this ghost getting that tome. But I only have one infect right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if I distract. I think I'm going to have to give up the point in order to get 2. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2. Oh yeah, I've got it. I can get 2 still, and I can stop this ghost from getting that tome. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. All right. So the way I'm going to play this is I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pick up this tome, and I've used an entire dice worth of movement there. I'm going to infect this enchanted mythic from here to here. And then I'm actually going to pull my legendary ability, which is Stench. Stench is neighboring Tome Keeper will move 1 space directly away from you. So I'm able to move this Tome Keeper diagonally to catch this ghost mythic here. All right. Now, he will now go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get to the second spot, and luckily I already have a ghost in the way. If I had another infect, I could probably catch this one too, but I do not. Once again, I want to try to get to the after lunch part of the game faster, so I am going to use my distract to get the Tome Keeper to move another space here, because I want him to get to 2 if possible. 1, 2, 3, 4. He won't quite get there, but he's closer. And then I need to get out of the way. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and that'll be all of my movement. I don't need to throw a wall, so I am going to, or I don't need to throw a bookcase, so I'm going to keep it there. All right, so now the Tome Keeper is going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I get 2 points from that turn. Oh, I did a mistake. I forgot to look at the cards to see where I potentially could get caught. Luckily, it's not going to hurt me too bad unless we once again drew a far right detention card activation, which I really don't think is going to happen. I really hope isn't going to happen. But luckily, the only other place I could be caught is in the middle of the board, which I currently don't have anyone there. So I should be okay. We will see. I'm going to do my cleanup phase. We will respawn the enchanted ghosts there. I really want more infect. Now, if you've played the game, you'll realize that I made a mistake on my cleanup phase. I didn't boost. You do get to boost in the solo mode. So I could have possibly gotten all 3 of them there. But I am going to boost this turn. I'm going to boost my infect up to 2, and I am going to move my other movement here to 4. All right, I feel pretty good about that. Cool. So now we're going to roll. And that's going to be the green 4. That's not great for me, and you'll see why on your turn, or on their turn. And the green 1, that is really bad for me. They are going to get some points this turn. All right, so The ghost mythics, or the enchanted ghosts, will start from the lower left-hand side of their board. So this one's going to be the one that moves first, and she's going to go 1, 2, 3, and move me towards the Tome Keeper. And then this one is going to take a very leisurely step up here to get their tome off the board, which is going to be a point. And then this one spawned on one of the only places on the board where it could potentially get a tome, which is, they're very mean to me. But that's just, you know, how it goes sometimes. So they get another point, so they're winning right now. That's going to be their turn. This guy's not even going to move. He's just happy he spawned on a tome. So, all right. Then the Tome Keeper will move, and then we will do detention card. So he's going to go back up to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to check to make sure that is the fastest path, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, looks like the fastest path to me. Okay. Thank goodness. They didn't really need another point, so the first card is going to be the one activated because of this green spot here. These cards will slide down, and this card will take the third spot. Alrighty, so the middle of the board is caught. I'm not in the middle of the board, thank goodness. Tomes get added to the board for the enchanted mythics. And, oh, but I did get tripped up. So this character is going to be tripped up, and I cannot move him, but I can use him for other actions, but I cannot move him. I guess his skateboard got tangled up under his legs or something like that. All right. Yeah, Tome Keeper's moved. Enchanted card has happened. It is my turn again. All right, I'm feeling actually pretty good about this turn. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, the turn is ending, which is great for me. I really don't want them to get these tomes that are out on the board, so I want to end this. I want to end this phase and get to after lunch as fast as possible, especially because I love the zombies after lunch. I'm also excited because I have 2 infects, and I see a couple of different ways I can at least get 2 of them. If I can get someone here, I can infect either of these twice to get them to here. And that would be really, really good turn for me. I'll be back in the lead. And they won't have a really good way of scoring points because they won't have tomes out on the board. So feeling pretty confident. I also want to get this tome if possible. All right, then I need to move him off the board or away from that. All right, so I'm going to infect this enchanted ghost to here. Then I'm going to take a 1, 2, 3 step. And I'm going to enchant this ghost to there. Then I only have 3 movement left. So I'm going to have to toss this wall if I want to get that tome, and it is definitely worth it to me. So I'm going to toss that wall and then move 1, 2, 3. And I'm tripped up there. Ooh, got to look at these cards. I have 2 different ways I get caught, and it could be really bad for me. Do I want to risk it in order to get that tome? Because I have both of these in the middle, and then this guy up in the top left. The only way I don't get caught is if the first card gets activated. Decisions. I think I'm going to risk it. I think the first card's going to get activated. If the second card gets activated, then it's only 1 catch, and it'll be tied. Ooh. This is hard. I'm going to go for it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get this off the board. And that is 2 points for me. I will take it. I got all my tomes, which I feel great about. These tomes are going to come off the board, which I feel even better about. And I need to do my cleanup phase now. We're going to put that into movement, and movement's going to be really important in the solo mode because sometimes you just need that extra movement to get off of the path of these detention cards. You've got to be really aware of the places. Like, this is a bad setup for me. I really don't want that third card to activate. If I had one more move, I can move this person here. I'd be totally safe. There would be no way for me to have multiple mythics caught, whereas right now, that is a possibility. So I do want to have that extra move. I'm going to keep my infect boosted. I'm going to boost my toss to be 1, and then distract is going to stay where it is. Okay, so now we're going to place these back on the board by rolling off the table. All right, so going to 3. And 1 is already taken, so we're going to go to the blue one, which is here. Lots of people up in this corner. This is scary. Okay, so now we do after lunch. So new tomes are going to go out, new destinations are going to go out, and then the enchanted mythics will take their turn. So turn that over. 1 is all the way down here. It's not too bad for me. 2 is up here. Well, if only that was 1, that would have been wonderful. I put these on the wrong side. If you didn't know, these are 2-color. Don't want to get that wrong. All right, then I get to put out my tomes. Once again, the enchanted mythics don't place their tomes. Ooh, that's wonderful. Now I get to put him up. Hopefully I spawn there, or I'm still there when the tome happens. Okay. Now it is the enemy enchanted mythic's turn. I'm actually a little worried. They might be able to put me in the path. So this one can move this mythic. So it's going to 1, 2, 3. It's going to move me to an adjacent space there. Then we're going to move this mythic because it's the farthest left on the top row. And it's always going to try to move the one furthest down on the board. So it could move this one, but it's going to try to move this one. And again, which is bad for me because it could end up putting me in the path of the Tomekeeper. We'll see. 1, 2, 3. And then this mythic is actually just going to run away. He can't get to one of my mythics. He can't get to a tome. So he's going to move all of his movement to get as far away from the Tomekeeper as he can. 1, 2, 3. And of course, it was a she. But you get what I'm saying. All right. Now, the Tomekeeper is going to do their phase. So we have to count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're safe. It's not going that way. But it was very close. They almost moved me into the path of the Tomekeeper there. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now we have to do an enchanted card. Please do not be the far right card. Come on, come on, come on. Whoo! All right. I did get caught, and it's really not fun because it is going to be the one that was sitting on a tome. That would have been wonderful for me. It was the middle card that got activated. So we will slide those. Another bad thing though is they're on a tome here, so I'm definitely gonna have to take care of that. This tome's great though. Look how far away that is from the ghosts there. That's wonderful. All right, this would have been tripped up. Nobody's up there. Then the top corner here is caught. So it is a tie game. That could have been really bad. If that middle row would have gotten activated, that would have been just terrible. So very happy that that is not the case. All right. My turn. I feel okay. I'm not going to catch a ton this turn. I will catch 1. Then it's going to be all about damage control from there. Ooh, I could just distract. Could I catch 2? All right, so what I'm thinking about in my head is getting this guy to here. And then, so that would be an infect from here to here, then distracting back to here, then using this mythic to come and toss this wall to here, forcing the Tomekeeper to go the long way around. Now that it's after lunch, I'm not trying to rush the game anymore unless I'm in the lead, which right now it's a little too close to call. So I can actually get to this turn. I think I can do that. So I need to spawn back into the library. Not good spawn points for me. I have a good amount of movement, though. I've got 7 movement. That should be enough. All right, it's going to be a complicated turn, so stick with me. I'm going to infect this ghost from here to here. Then I'm going to distract the Tomekeeper directly onto that ghost, scoring a point for myself. Then I'm going to move 1, 2. And then I'm going to toss this wall. You always want a wall toss. You never know when a move bookshelf will save your game. And it really did here. I'm going to get 2 points instead of 1, and I really think I have successfully blocked them from getting this easily now. And I might be able to sit the Tomekeeper right on their tome, which would be, actually I think I did manage to do that. That's going to be incredible, actually. All right, so I've done 2 movement and 1 effect, as my board reflects there. I'm now going to move 1, 2, 3. Oh boy, we're getting very close to running out of movement here, people. Oh. Nope. I might have to sacrifice someone. But it might be worth it to get the tomes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Would only have one move left. Oh no. Poor Tumble. All right. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take that tome. Got 2 movement left. I'm going to infect to here. Oh, Tumble, I'm sorry, buddy. Then I'm going to use my last 2 movement to grab this tome. Yeah, there's just... well. If I move just to there, 1. Yeah, no, I'm going to do it. All right. Tome. That's all my movement. That's going to be blank. And I used the toss. All right, so the Tome Keeper is going to move 1, 2, 3 and land on their tome. That's the best defense I could do because they cannot move into the Tome Keeper space. I got another point from that. I feel really, really good about my move. We'll see where they respawn. And I got all my tomes. This was a good turn for me. So the Tome Keeper has moved. I'm going to do my cleanup phase. So I am going to get my stench back. I love, that's a funny thing to say. I love the zombies legendary ability. It's so helpful. I'm also going to slot an infect and a toss. So now I have 2 boosts that I can kind of use wherever I need them per turn, which is always great. I'm going to take both of them on distract this turn, which that feels, I really like my board right now. That's a really solid solo mode build for this. All right, now we're going to roll the ghosts, the enchanted ghost back in. And I can actually flip the cards. The card's double-sided. You can flip it between phases if you want, or you can just use one side of the card for the whole game. I am going to switch it up just because it's more fun that way. The Enchanted is going to spawn here. And then 5, the Enchanted is going to spawn here. Okay, I feel really good about this. That defense play is going to save me an entire point. What could really hurt me now is the detention card. Only the far right one's going to catch me. However, the Tome Keeper is going to catch me next turn. They're going to be able to move me, or I'm just in the way, honestly. So it's definitely not going to be perfect, but I feel like I'm still going to come out either tied or on top. So I'm a little worried about what this detention card could be. But they're going to take their turn first, obviously. So the bottom left to the top right. So this Mythic is going to move first. 1, 2. She's going to move me, excuse me, up there. And then this one would go 1, 2, and move me there. Whew, good thing the Tome Keeper's not going that way. That is very scary. And then this Enchanted will move there because none of them could get to any tomes because of that Tome Keeper sitting there. Thanks, buddy. All right. Let's see here. Detention card time. Oh, excuse me. Nope. Tome Keeper moving. 1, 2, 3. And I'm caught, unfortunately. 5 to 6. They actually moved me out of this zone and into this zone. So now it's the middle detention card that could get me caught. Let's see what it ends up being here. It is the far left one. So this is a push, and I'm not in any of the push zones. However, this is a really, really bad tome spawn for me. I'm not going to be able to defend all these. There's just no way. They can definitely get to them. So, oh wait, yeah. Thought I did that wrong for a second. I did not. All right, so I do not get pushed or tripped up, which is great. So that was a not too bad card. Thank you, detention. All right, cool. So it's my turn again. I'm really not gonna be able to defend this or this. Actually, they won't be able to get that one, will they? Great. No, this one will get this one, and then this one will get that one. I guess I could toss the wall. All right, it's going to be very hard to catch any of them. I need a Mythic down here pretty bad so I can move a wall. It's going to go 1, 2, 3. It's not going far. could get this Mythic there, though. I think it's going to be a 1-point turn for me, just playing defense. I have all my tomes, though, so I really do need to try to rush them through this phase. Could use Stench as well. All right. This guy cannot get a tome. This enchanted ghost can. This girl, excuse me. This enchanted ghost can. If I distract, it'd be 1, 1, 2. All right. Infect. So that's both my infect. I need to spawn this guy. I'm going to spawn them here. Then I am going to do a double distract. 1, 2. And Tomekeeper will now go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go 1, 2. Then I'm going to toss this wall, try to protect this tome a little bit. Ooh, these spawn points are rough. Okay, got to play defense here. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 to try to get away from these catch points. So that will bring me down to 1 and 2. All right, I am not in any of the places I could be caught on the card right now, so I'm going to stay there. I've used my distract. All right, this is looking pretty good. I feel good about my chances. I need to give myself a point for this catch. And now the Tomekeeper will take their phase. 1, 2, 3. And I just need to refresh real quick, or do my cleanup phase. And I'm going to leave things exactly as they were. All right, I feel pretty good about that. Enchanted Mythic is coming back on the board at 4. Oh, no. Ah. Oh, man. Okay, so this Mythic cannot get anywhere. I've walled things off pretty well. And so they're going to run away from the Tomekeeper. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So if an enchanted Mythic can get to a tome, even if one of their partners is on the space, they will, and they will move their person further away from the Tomekeeper. In this case, either space is further away from the Tomekeeper. So 1, 2, 3, and they will not move them there, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I move them there, they're going to be right in the path of the Tomekeeper, so I'm going to move them there. And they will get a tome and get a point there. And then this Mythic. I'm going to move them here because they will get a tome here on their turn. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, and put me right in the path of the Tomekeeper. Tie game. So if they would have gotten a point, you basically need to do things in the best interest of the Enchanted Mythics based on placement like that. In that case, I was stopping them from getting a tome by putting them down here, and so I corrected that in order to make sure that they could get that tome. In their added benefit, they put me on the 2 space, which is not great for me. 1, 2, 3. It's very close to getting me caught, actually. All right. So now their Enchanted phase is done. We do another detention phase, and I'm pretty safe. I'm not anywhere I could get caught. There are places I could get tripped up. Middle card activates. And, ooh, that's a good tome placement for them. And Tumble's tripped up again. He's having a bad day on that skateboard. Man, tie game. This is close. I have a pretty good feeling about this last turn, though. I think I'm going to be able to catch 2. I can't end the game, though, so then I'll just have to catch 1 on my last turn. So that won't be too bad. All right. Let's see here. I need to get out the way. Ah! Decay! I totally forgot about Decay. Never forget about Decay, people. It's the best. I love Decay. So this is my after lunch special as the zombies, if you aren't familiar with the base game. I can put a piece of Decay in a space under a zombie, and when I move an enemy mythic, or if an enemy mythic moves into that space, I can move them in an orthogonal direction away from that space. This is actually going to really help me here. Well, do I want to use it? Tomekeeper's headed down here, so I need to move this one. And Tumble's knocked over. That's bad. I need to move a wall. Yeah, I need to move a wall. Okay. Going to move here. And then I'm going to move here. So that's 2 movement. I'm going to distract once. And then I'm going to infect this character to here. And 2 goes away because the Tomekeeper's on it. Then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to toss this wall to here. Yeah, 1, 2. And then I'm going to infect to here. Oh, I'm so close to getting all 3, but just that one's so far away from me. I've used 1 distract. I'm going to distract with Tumble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's definitely faster. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So Tumble's going to take a distract there, and that's going to be a catch. Place that there. That's all my distract. That's both of my infects. Tumble can't move. All right, I feel pretty good about this. I do kind of want to get out of the way though, so I'm going to move here. And all right, 1, 2, and he's not going to go 3 because that space is covered. And that's at 9. All right, I feel okay. Don't feel great, but I feel okay. Can't catch me with the detention cards, so I'm feeling like this could be a win for us. But we'll see where the enemy mythics spawn, because they have tomes, several good places around the board for them. All right, so it's going to be on the 4 and the 1. Uh-oh. All right, so now the Enchanted Mythics are going to take their turn. All right, now the Enchanted Mythics are going to take their turn, and remember they're going for tomes, then moving my Mythics, then running away. So the bottom left to the top right, this Mythic is going to go first, and she is going to move this zombie onto here by moving 3 spaces. This Mythic is going to go 1, 2, 3, get a tome and get a point. This Mythic, Enchanted Mythic, is going to move 1 and get a point, and it is suddenly a very, very tight game at 9-9. I'm very glad that Tomekeeper ate a big lunch and is not going to catch poor Tumble on this turn. However, is there a way I could get caught on the tension card? I don't think there is. I think I'm safe because I'm not in this top corner and I'm not in the middle. So it could have ended right there with me losing had it shaken up just slightly differently. So it is the first card that gets activated, and oof, these tomes are not good for me, so I definitely need to get at least 1 point here. Don't think I'm going to have a problem doing that, luckily. Tumble is tripped up again, so he got picked up and he's right back down. So poor Tumble has spent most of this game on his back, which would be really terrible because the Tomekeeper moved 3 after their turn, so 1, 2, 3. So that's where the Tomekeeper is, and he would be really close to catching me. But I'm feeling okay, I think. Oh, I was really counting on being able to use Tumble, though. I've got Distract. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. All right, so for my last point, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. I'm going to infect 1. And then I'm going to distract twice. 1, 2. And that'll be 10 points. Close game, 9 to 10. Just slightly different. If I hadn't paid attention to the detention card, or if they were able to move me just one more space in a couple of situations, they would have won that game. So I feel pretty good about being able to get on top. I probably would have had to reshoot the whole video. I can't show off the solo mode and lose. I would look like I was terrible at this game. So I'm glad I don't have to do a second take, obviously. No, but I love playing this game because it gives me the same. I love the solo mode. We do not design solo modes very often in IV. We did one for Moonrakers, and we like it a lot. But this, having partners like Nick Shaw and David Terzi, was just so nice because you can just see the intentionality behind it, and the feeling is very similar to where in Moonrakers, the solo mode, you were still trying to get the most points. It didn't feel like you were playing the actual game of Moonrakers. With this, I'm still doing the same objective, and it gives me the same puzzles. And so I love what they designed for us, and I'm not a solo mode gamer. It's why we asked Nick and David to help us, and we're really thrilled with what they came up with. So I hope you enjoyed it. If I messed up any of the rules or you see anything that you want to comment on, please, we'd love to hear your thoughts. We will be adding this to the TTS mod eventually. It's not there right now, but yeah, we will be adding it for you guys to try out. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and yeah, let me know what you think.